Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Money Talks Live, a fireside chat with me, Coach MarieYolaine. These chats are about really you. It is about helping you along on your journey to reclaim dignity in your finances. Whether you are a professional, a entrepreneur, a business owner, a side hustler who's been working really hard on your business and want to take it to next level, right? Not shacking up, but in a committed relationship with your business. These talks are to get you the information that you need, the encouragement that you need, the support that you need in order for you to move forward, to realize the dreams that you have. And at Focus Fire, we do that in a myriad of ways, right? This is one of the main ones where we bring folks who have been where you are and are overcoming it and are on the road to financial liberation in their lives. And folks who have taken the 4 keys to master your money without a budget you hate workshop, and how that's impacted their lives, and how many of them went from that to taking the boot camp and then are now in our community where they receive support and accountability, right? I've learned in life that oftentimes you need support and you need time and accountability, because we do not grow in isolation. We grow in community. And it doesn't matter what age. I think you'll find our guest today very interesting as it relates to that. In my mind, she's wondrous wise, even though she is young, because I don't think that a beautiful butterfly just flew by my window. I love them. There's a saying that growing older is mandatory. Maturing is optional. So you can be 10 years old and be wondrous wise like you're 35. And you can be 35 acting like you're 10. So the earth is going to continue to go around the sun. And God willing, we get a new year of life as we grow older. But maturity requires a decision. It requires intention. It requires action. It requires practice, right? So it is in those moments that we realize that, oh my gosh, I'm not just growing older, I should also grow wiser with the experiences that I've had in my life. And my guest definitely knows about that. So she is a visionary leader, a strategist, a former Division I athlete whose career spans science, tech, legal, and financial services. She's known for bringing discipline, clarity, and humanity into everyone's space that she enters. I'm a witness for that. I can testify that that is true. She's guided executive teams through organizational change, built cultures of trust, and created systems that last. Her leadership has been recognized with the Gwendolyn Brooks Cultural Leadership Award and honors from the National Society of Leadership and Success as she continues to champion both excellence and equity. I'm excited. So join me in bringing and welcoming to the stage Alizah Washington to Money Talks Live. Alizah!
Woo! Hi.
I love how we're both like those 2 little kids on Instagram who are just like, oh, my friend, yay!
Yay!
And they run towards each other. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. I'm doing really good. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm doing good. I am excited that you're here today. I can tell you that there's like secret reasons too, right? And my secret reason is that I hope that this interview and your message will reach folks in your generation.
Yeah.
I believe in bridges, and I think that sometimes the system is designed so that like the kids don't talk to the adults and the adults don't talk to the elders, and that's a disadvantage because I think somewhere in the word it says zealousness without knowledge is dangerous, right? So youth is excited but may not have the wisdom.
Right.
Older folks may not be excited, but they have the wisdom. And imagine when they all come together, right? So you have knowledge and you have energy and you have wisdom all together. And that's what I hope to create in the Focus Fire community that now has folks of all ages, genders,
Yes.
nationalities, different walks of life. That's the community I wanted to create. And I'm so glad that you are in that community and representing. So I'm interested to know how you've been recognized as a leader who thrives in moments of chaos and change. Can you share how your background shaped that strength?
Yeah, I think that from a very young age, I just had to really learn how to depend on myself and my ability to see myself stretch myself beyond my limits. And I
Mm,
think that started from a very young age, just from when I was diagnosed with Graves' disease at 5 years old, and really just like navigating that. Yes, I had my parents to be able to be the leader and champion me through that, but it was ultimately happening to me. So I
mm,
think I was able to really like tap into my relationship with God unknowingly at a very young age, and to just really feel like the love and his surrounding of me during that time. And I think that that has just kind of carried throughout different events. And I have like little highlighted moments for me. And I think, stepping off of that, when I was 11, I started to do sports, and I started to see like my mindset was different than others. Like I wanted it, like I was hungry, like I
mm,
just had this drive. And so, sports is kind of where I created that mindset for myself. I was like, okay, if I can thrive in sports, like then I can do anything. That was my mindset. But I think as time goes on, you get older, people, have different influence on you. I kind of lost that for a little bit. I
mm,
didn't necessarily know, okay, yes, I, got a scholarship to play volleyball in college. After that, I was like, I really don't know what's for me, or like, what do I do now? Like, I thought sports was kind of like my thing. And so a big transition piece for me was becoming a Division 1 athlete into a graduate assistant in my 5th year of college. And that's when I really got to see like and remind myself too, right? Like that, hey, Alizah, you do have skill sets outside of the volleyball court, and it's transferable. So,
mm,
in that next year, stepping away from volleyball, I was recognized by the National Leadership in Success for my writing, and then also in the Gwendolyn Brooks Cultural Center to as a leader within the center that I was in. So, moments like that for me really strike me and just remind me that what I'm supposed to do is a lot bigger than the sport that I did play. And so as I continue to grow and as I continue to do those things, it's just really nice to be able to look back at those little milestones for myself and just
mm,
remind myself like, hey, like you can do this. And I think literally just the other day I posted something on my Instagram like of Michael Jordan. And
mm,
when I played volleyball, whenever I'd like be running for the ball or something, I would have like my tongue out to the side in some capacity. But I was like, I just reminded me like no, like I definitely have like a dog fighting spirit. And now for the first time after I did the 4 keys to master your money without a budget you hate workshop, I was like, okay, now I can kind of see where that like dog mentality, that drive mentality that I have, where can I like redirect that? And like something I've talked to you about is like how to allocate that. Like where can I reallocate that
mm,
mindset
mm.
into where I am now? So yeah.
Yeah, I've been a part of your journey and I've seen that in real time of you unpacking things, right?
Mhm.
Um, and it's, when you brought up taking the workshop, tell us your money story, your money memory, that what has been your relationship with money and what drew you to take the workshop?
Yeah, for me, money has always kind of been an invisible topic, of an invisible resource to me just because I did play sports. I was never really responsible for money. If I needed money to go out with my friends, it was just kind of like, hey, here's your dad's card, like go get, $20. And back in the day, $20 would get you a lot more now than it does.
True.
So yeah, I think for me, I never really was able to associate cost with money and how it worked
Mhm.
altogether. Like it wasn't something that I had to really be a part of. It was like, okay, I got a scholarship to play school. If I need any assistance, I can ask my parents because I don't necessarily ask for much, but when I do, I am able to receive it. But I don't know what necessarily goes on in the back end of that stuff. So um when I graduated from college and I was living with my partner at the time, like I did still then I wasn't like, oh yeah, money. Like I was just like, I know that these are the bills, like whatever. But
Mhm.
I think that after taking the workshop, I was able to reflect on just the times where I've been given a lot of money. The times where, and also just like the impulses that I get, like when I get paid, I'm like, okay, what can I buy? Like what I never have had a plan. I've never written it down. Like I was just kind of like trying to, I guess, like soothe these urges that I was having, but I wasn't necessarily
Mhm.
aware of why I was responding this way. And also like money trauma. Like for me growing up, like I could see that money caused issues, money caused hostility. It was just kind of this like negative thing. So not knowing and like subconsciously I carried that with me. And I think it's easier said than done to say, hey, why don't you just make a budget? Like I had done that before. I made a
Mhm.
budget. I had been in debt before. I got myself out of that. And it was like not until I took your workshop where it was like, no, you actually have money trauma. Like, and I think that we should address that. Like if I had never addressed that before, or
Mhm.
had I ever allowed God to move in my finances, to be intentional about asking him to show up in my finances. And ultimately, like I think what all this comes down to is my relationship with God. And like this is the first year where I've really like been like, no, like I hear what he's saying, I hear his direction, and I'm going to follow.
Mhm.
And when I saw your workshop, I was just like, I think I should try that. I think I should try that. And I did get discouraged after when I was like, I don't know why, for some reason also. Like I was just when I saw like, oh, you have to pay for the boot camp, like I was like, I don't really know, but you said something where you were like, your return on investment is so much greater. Like, and I was like, big picture, Alizah, you need to do this. Big,
Mhm.
like, no, no, like, hands down, like, you need to learn. And I've enjoyed my time working with you and just like our conversation throughout the years. So I knew and I could also trust in you to be that guide and that advisor to me throughout this journey. Like, so I think that that also really helped me as well. And just the honest conversation that you brought to the table, and also the other members that took the workshop, like hearing, hey, we're really all going through the same thing. And like what you said in your introduction about, like, it doesn't matter, regardless of your age, like, age does not equate to maturity. Like, that's not a thing. So, so it was amazing to just be there and just to feel safe, really.
Mm. Thank you for that, because that talking about money, as you said, no matter what age you are, it doesn't matter. And I think that feeling safe to talk about it is one of the things I really pride myself on, because I know that if folks felt safe in a place where they could talk about it and also see that other people were in the same boat that they're, it takes a lot of the air out of the balloon, right?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you agree? Like, as we get older, we become more and more ashamed about
Mm-hmm.
talking about money because we feel like everybody else knows about money and everybody else is handling their money
Yeah.
well. And if people find out, my hair looks like this, my braids are like this, the baby hair is kicking, I got on
Right. Right.
melanin is on, and I look like, no one's gonna then go,
Yeah.
oh yeah, she obviously does not manage her money well. Like, no one's gonna make that distinction.
Literally.
And then we feel like I can't ask for help. And then as a result, we just suffer in silence,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what are the challenges like that someone in your generation, what are the financial challenges that you feel like someone in your generation is facing that maybe others in the generations before, after you are not?
Yeah, I think it's the access that we have to social media and seeing like, you know, Black girl luxury, or you're like, oh, made it out the group chat, we're in Cabo. Like you're seeing all these things and you're like, okay. And for me, before I entered my 20s, I got I just got told like your 20s is you're never gonna get it back. Like your 20s is everything. I was just like, oh my God, like I have to really be in my 20s like bag. Like but seeing like your starting salary, you're like, okay, I don't know if I can make it to Cabo, but maybe I can make it here, maybe I can make it there. Like it's crazy. So I think just like the society pressures that you feel in your 20s to have an amazing, unforgettable 20s. Like I
Mm,
would like that had really that kind of skewed my mindset because that's like what I wanted to achieve. Like I wanted to achieve the cool pictures, the cool trips, like all the things
mhm,
until my bank account was like, I don't think we can. I was like, oh. I remember last year when I started to really like pay attention, I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't take that trip. I literally cannot take that trip. And it's been interesting, especially because I have really doubled down on my discipline and my obedience. And so
mhm,
for people in my generation, like, yeah, I could be seen as like boring or maybe I don't do much, but I'm like, what I've found in my 20s is that this is your foundational years. Yes, it should be fun. And I think like black doesn't crack, okay? Like I still plan to be cute at 50. I still plan to be cute at 60. Whatever age I'm at, like I still see myself being this person. And so like for me to get there, for me to want to if I want to get proposed to in Italy, like I've got to have the money and I have to also know how to like navigate that skill set because it's a skill set and it's a mindset. And I didn't know that. Like I didn't know if I wanted to get to where I was that I would have to change those things. And it all just like encompasses itself into one thing.
mm. So what was the biggest challenge? Like you came to the workshop, you did your found out you had money trauma, you did the quiz, um, you learned how to tap into your first money memory.
Mhm.
What was the challenge when you then chose, and you said it well, you're like, Lisa, you need to take this boot camp. Like, stop playing around. Okay. It's good that you have these conversations with yourself.
Yes.
Um, what was the biggest challenge for you when you got into the boot camp?
I think honestly, just like believing. I think that was the biggest thing that I had to overcome is like believe that I could actually do this. Like I think
Mhm,
like listening to you like you talked about like the voices like it's no shade to you, it was like the voices that I had in my head of like, can she really help me? Like, are we really gonna get there? Like, can I actually save? Like, does she not know what my bills look like? Like, it's like stuff like that. Like, does she not know how much debt I admit? And like, like all of these things, I was just like, but it was like that wasn't actually me. Like, I want to get there. And so, like, my favorite thing about the workshop was the fact that you had us write our own money story. That was a game changer for me because writing is something that is like near and dear to my heart, and I've started taking up like writing 3 pages journaling every single morning.
mm, mhm, mhm,
Yeah, and it's changed my life, like honestly. And thank God seriously for giving me the gift of consistency because I am a very consistent person. So once I choose and like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I can really start to look back and see the fruit from the decision that I made to start journaling and start writing. And also to be able to write my own money story. Like that's that in itself is like everything.
mm. Do
Yeah.
you feel like that gave you more control over your story going forward, in that you may have been living in somebody else's story and that now you're getting to make the decisions about how the money story goes forward because it's yours and you're taking ownership of it?
Oh, 100%. 100% because I wasn't living in my own story. I wasn't living in my own truth. And I think, a lot of that has to do with like my upbringing or just like, like taking on what my parents had and like just, I'll share like just what I've learned in like Bible study, like the true meaning of what a parent, like an earthly parent even means. Like is to really get you to a point to have your own relationship with God and releasing any pain, any trauma. Like that has been a game changer for me because I felt stuck for the longest time and like
Mm,
just trying to like solve these things that really weren't mine to own. And so once I started to own my life, and it started really with me taking ownership of my name and like the way that my name has been spelled, all of my year, like, for 26 years of my life, I tell people like I literally felt like I was living inside of a trap body. Like I
Yeah.
didn't feel like myself. I knew I knew what I wanted to do. I knew who I wanted to become and the visions that God had been giving me, but it was like I can't do it under this fake name. Like
Yeah.
I can't do
Yeah.
that because it's not actually who I am and it doesn't represent me. So starting with that, it's like it's been a journey. It's like, I'm not there where I want to be now, but it's just like to be able to see the small steps that I've been able to take is going to be, really what pays off.
I'm so proud of you. I'm gushing. I'm going to remain professional. But I, I think that it's important for people to understand the power of a decision,
Yes,
right? So you can hem and haw as much as you want, but I don't think that we understand that once we make a decision, like the entire universe is on our side.
literally.
Like God is like, no, I want you to succeed. Like that's my thing. So
Yeah.
the moment you say yes, or the moment you say,
Yes.
I deserve better than this,
Mhm.
this can't be my life. Like however
Mhm.
you get to that crossroads where you say, I want what you want for me. I want the best too. And not in a, how do I say, arrogant, selfish, just the quality of my life,
Yeah.
right? Like just I want my light brighter.
Mhm.
that's what I'm that's what I'm asking for. So I've seen you make that decision. Yesterday, I think today's the 25th. So, or no, a couple of days ago, you took the boot camp July 25th.
Oh
So you're
wow.
literally a month since you've taken it.
Mhm.
What has changed for you? Like either your
Yeah.
mindset, your money, what has changed for you since you took it in the last 30?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that you say it was a month ago because I'm like, was it actually? That's so crazy because I feel like I've seen significant changes just in like the opportunities that have shown up for me and just the way that God has literally interceded on my behalf and been like, you got this, I've got your back. And like you said, God wants you to have a good life. And like I know when you and I were working together and then you were like, it looks like we're a little short here for the month of August. I was like, okay. Um, and you said to me, you were like, Alizah, write down what you need to do. And I mean, even still, I was like, does she really think I'm gonna like go work at Chipotle or like what do I have to do? I know it's not gonna be pretty, but I know that I have to. And it's just like praying about it, and just like God, like I was praying for Chipotle. I was like, God, just give me a job at Chipotle, like whatever. And he said, no, I've got something better for you. And it was like, I really didn't have to lift a finger. It was something that was already, he gave me something that was already in my life that
Mhm.
I've benefited from. And that thing was volleyball. And he was like, here. And I love sharing that story because I'm just like, I still can't believe it. Like, I'm still like, oh my gosh, you told me I needed X amount. I got almost doubled in that. And it's like it literally makes me so happy. It's incredible. It's incredible the power of one when you write things down and two when you really start to believe. Like I had to, believe the whole believing thing. It's that's not like a one day journey. Last year I started, I think maybe in like May, I started to collect post-it notes. I would write down, I believe and trust God. At the time, did I believe and trust God? No. Like I did not, that was not my truth. That's not what I saw. Like, but I knew that for me to see what I wanted to see in my life, that I did actually need to get there. And I just knew like, okay, if I show up every day, I think that I'm gonna see it pay off. And so that's what I started to do. And it was just like, okay, and for me it's about building. So and then last year in July, God sent my brother to me, and I think it's so interesting because it's like he was the last member of my family, my intermediate family, to visit me in DC. And what he
Mhm.
said to me was just, well, Lisa, if you show up every day, then it becomes one day, and then it's set. Like you look back, it's 7 days, and it'll be 7 months. And that, like, my
Ooh.
soul just like held on to that. And from that day forward, I dedicated myself to the gym, getting up and going to the gym every single day, just
Mhm.
documenting it and getting up. And ooh, that has been like the biggest blessing of my life, because it's not about me like working out or looking better. It's like me literally being so intentional and strengthening my mindset and my mind and my relationship with God. And so, like, when I have conversations with people now, it's like I feel like I've leveled up in the video game because my discernment level is at such a higher rate. And so sometimes when I'm talking to people, I can just recognize, like, hey, they may not be where I am, but I can show them the way. I can be that example for them. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
whew, yeah, that has changed my life.
I I want to point this out as a teaching moment. When you came, your mindset was a lack. I don't have money. I don't have access.
Hmm.
Um, I don't see how this is going to work because this is all the money that I have. When you had put the amounts in the shame-free spending flow, as we call our budgets here in Focus Fire, and you saw the amount, as you said before, everybody wants to know but doesn't want to see, right?
Yeah.
I want to know what it is. I don't want to write it down. Um, and when you put the amounts, and I remember saying, and I could see everybody's face go, wait, but once I put the numbers, it's going to automatically do it, and then I'll see it. And there's something that happens when you see it, right?
Yeah.
And it punches you in the face first,
Yeah. And
right?
your chest gets tight.
Just, but you also realize in that moment, now I know what it is.
Hmm.
Now I know. This is how much I'm under. And this is the amount that now I have a baseline of I need this extra amount every month. And I think in that moment, you started to dismantle the lack, right? And then at that moment, it had no control over you. And you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna make a call to Sephora. I'm gonna make a call to Chipotle. I'm gonna call in all the places. Wait a minute, I used to work at here and I used to work at that. So I could see the dismantling happening because 10 minutes before then, you're like, no, it's no way out. This is
Yeah.
finished. And you went from that to Chipotle, Sephora. I can make a call to this person. I can make a call to that person because now the not knowing hold was done.
Yeah.
Then, once you decided that you were going to make the calls, and you did, and
Hmm.
you found out about, you're like, it's right across the street. I'll just walk over there. I want to point out to folks who are watching that there's a humility that was required there,
Hmm.
right? Because let's be honest, you could be working there and a friend walks into Chipotle,
Yeah.
right? Be like, I mean, Lisa, you so fly and you so this and you're online and da da da. What you working at Chipotle, right? And I point
Hmm.
this out because it's important for us to know our why.
Yeah.
And I know now you do know that. You know
Hmm.
where you're trying to go and you have a plan to get there.
Hmm.
Unless somebody's going to walk in and pay your rent, your mortgage, your cars.
Right.
Like we used to have a rule in the house. Unless you pay the bills, you ain't got to vote. Okay?
No.
So do not come in telling me what I need to be doing and being Cabo, as you said, and doing all the things because you are not paying my bills. I am. So the plan I make for that financially, that's me.
Hmm.
And so when I heard you say that, I was like, she's going to make it because now she doesn't care what anybody thinks because she's focused on getting to her finish line. And
Yeah.
I believe when you did that, that is when the windows open. And that is when the things you weren't even, and God's funny like that. I think people think that it's like a tit for tat type of thing.
Hmm.
He just wants to know if you're going to do the thing. And the thing
Right.
was walking over to Chipotle. The thing was calling for the what is it, the Sephora. That's what it was.
Hmm.
The blessing was already there.
Yeah.
As one of my favorite elders, Elder Pointer, wrote a book. I think it was called From Misery to Message. And he was one of the lines he says in there is, God does not put things in your hand; He puts them in your reach.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
there's some action required on your part. You've got to stretch,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like God's Grubhub, just put in the order and it shows up at your door. That's like not how relationships even work, right?
Right.
So you had to reach, you had to go
Hmm.
do something, you had to let go of some old mindsets in order to get the new mindset, because they're not going to live together. They can exist together until one of them has to go, right?
Right.
So now I see you increasing in the new mindset as the old mindset is decreasing.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw when you were texting me like, hey, this happened with the volleyball, and they were just like, hey, come do this. So you literally had the ability, you had the solution. But in lack, we're not even looking at our gifts, talents, and abilities
Mm-hmm.
as a means to get out of something, a means to, how do I say, a solution to a problem. We
Right.
don't take inventory and stock in ourselves because we're already like, well, I don't have it. I don't have it. It's done. I don't know how I'm going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. As opposed to, let's see, I can do this, this, and that. How do I monetize that? Who do I
Mm-hmm.
call in my network, right? Because you went from there's no solution to let me find out what my options are.
Yeah.
Let me just cast a wide net. And then God was like, let me show off. So now
Yeah.
you know, reach out to you in your field.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing. I'm like watching this going, okay,
Literally. Yeah, I know.
more of this, more of this, please. So I see how your mindset has shifted. Um, for someone who is in your generation that's watching now,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say? Why should someone in your generation take the workshop and the boot camp and join this community?
Yeah, I would say because one, you're not alone and you don't have to suffer in silence. I think that for a lot of us, money is not like it's not an open, nice conversation to have. But I think that in your 20s, it's the best thing for you to get used to having that conversation. Get used to having those conversations about money. So that way, when you do get older, you're like, okay, I've been there, I've done that, so you have that in your back pocket as a skill set, and learning that that's a part of your foundation. And like I would say that's what you use your 20s for, is to set those foundations for yourself. And taking the workshop, I mean, for me, like to be able to have people, like every morning I'm getting like the WhatsApp, like text messages. People are like, good morning, like, God said, and I'm like, period, because it is that real. Like it is, once you start getting in it, and I'm not gonna sit here and say there's not moments where I don't have doubt or anything like that, but it's like,
Mhm, mhm,
okay, my mindset, I can, like you said, I see it increasing. Like I know what to do to tackle those things now. And also, in a short month, I can literally look back and be like, God did that, and that. Period. Like he really did do that. And there's no way anyone can question that. Anyone can be like, oh, are you sure? Like, no, this all happened and stemmed from me taking this workshop. If I did, I mean, I don't want to think about it, but like, if I didn't take it, I don't know what it would look like for me now. But that wasn't what God had for me. Obviously, He knew that this was a place that I needed to be and planted me there, and
mhm.
saw the fruit that I would get from being there in the room for, I don't know, like maybe 8 hours. It was just 8 hours. And so much has come from that 8 hours of my time. Like, yeah.
That was good. You're like, I can't tell it all. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I am, I can tell you sitting here listening to you, I wish I had this workshop myself in my
Yeah.
20s. I can look back and say I would have made different decisions. Like the fact that you said foundation to set up for the rest of your life,
Mm-hmm.
because the message you all get is spend it all.
Spend it. Yeah. Be cute.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't feel it literally for another 10 or 20 years later. That's what they don't tell you, right? And there's nothing, I want to be clear, there's nothing wrong with going to Cabo. I just need
Right.
you to budget it.
Right.
I
And
just
that,
need,
yes. Yeah.
right? That's the only thing I'm inserting, as opposed to I went to Cabo when I was 29 and I'm 35 and I'm still paying for it.
Right. And I just want to say, I do have a line item in my budget for Alizah's new wardrobe. So it's like, I think like for anyone that's like, oh my God, budget, like I don't think it's not a restrictive word. It's just like, how do we bucket? Okay, Elisa's new wardrobe. How do we bucket in as a set amount for this new wardrobe? And it doesn't have to happen all at once. I think also for my generation, it's like this instant gratification. Like you want it now. God wants you to teach you patience And that's something I had to like learn as well in various aspects of my life, that it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. You can't expect it to, and you just be like, I don't know about this whole God thing because it didn't happen the next day. Like, no, like you have to be willing to show up every single day.
Correct.
Because, and it's like, it sounds like a big task, but like, don't we show up to work every day?
Like, do you go to the gym once and go, oh, no muscles, so forget it?
Right. Yeah.
If we
So,
make those allowances for food,
yeah.
for health,
Yeah.
right? Still go to the dentist twice a year. You still go to a physical. You still brush your
Yeah.
teeth every day. Like it's not a leap to go from there to I want to expand my spiritual horizons, and I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to commit to reading this book,
Mm-hmm.
right? Watching this series, going to this Bible study, whatever it is, it's going to require some commitment on your part,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I said, in your reach, not in your hands. So, like I said, I'm here for Cabo, I'm here for Italy, I'm here for Greece, I'm here for all of it. What I'm
Mm-hmm.
not here for is taking 10 years to pay it off.
Yeah.
Not here for is irresponsible spending.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly.
There used to be a word called disposable income. I don't like this word because it sounds like right, as opposed to discretionary income, as opposed to
Ooh.
discerned income, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know exactly what I'm making and what I'm spending it on.
Yeah.
That's it. Because then
Mm-hmm.
you control your money doesn't control you. I loved when
Yeah.
I went to your folder and it said your budget bestie. I was like, okay, she's done transcended now. She's gone on a whole new level of that. To see how you've gone from budget to like, oh no, this is my best friend. We talk every day and we're we're good. Like we're friends. We have
We have to
conversation
be.
and that she tells me the truth about stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just excited for you, period.
Thank
That I'm
you.
in your life, like cheering you on from the sidelines, right? And I know you love to write, so I'm going to do a little exercise because
Okay.
I know this is going to be a good one for both of us. So this is a freebie exercise that I invite all the viewers to engage in, and that is write down one belief about money that no longer serves you, and then share a replacement belief in the comments, for example. So I'm going to say, for example, I'll never get ahead financially. And we say that all the time. That is called a self-fulfilling prophecy because we say it and then it
Mm-hmm.
happens. And then we say, see, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
See, I told you. It's see what you manifested.
Exactly.
That's the truth, right? Because we don't know the power of our words, but everyone who's watching now, you're going to be responsible for what you've heard. So you are responsible for your words, and your words do manifest and create the world around you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of I'll never get ahead financially, it's I attract and manage money with wisdom and confidence. That's an
Mm-hmm.
example, right? I will give mine, and that is money is hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
I've, I've been working all my life, so I only know work to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Now I say, I am a money magnet. I attract money daily, consistently, in abundance with ease from expected and unexpected sources. What's yours?
I would say that something that I had in my mind is like, I don't have enough money to do the things that I want to.
Mm,
And now I know that money is a resource and nothing is too big for God. And, if you want it, go get it. Like, I know that now. I know that if I continue to write it down and I continue to keep my money story, not anyone else's, that I can achieve all things. And that's just like literally flipping my mindset completely.
that
Yeah.
is that is moving from lack to abundance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that also you're not the one who has to make all the money.
Right.
Not, what is it? Deuteronomy 8:18, one of my favorites. It says, remember that it is the Lord your God who gives you the power to produce wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're like, wait, I have power to produce wealth? When was somebody going to tell me that, first of all?
Yeah.
Right? So you cannot have power inside of you to produce wealth and say, I'll never get ahead financially. Those
Mm-hmm.
are diametrically opposed to each other, right?
Right.
So, and I'll close with this. Good example now. When you saw what you were in the red after you did your budget, and you're like, oh my gosh, where am I going to get that? Fast forward 3 weeks later, you had the power to produce wealth.
Yeah.
You had the ability to do volleyball and an opportunity that you could monetize that, and you did. So you always had the power to produce wealth.
Yeah.
The entire time, and that's what you're going to keep doing. So I'm proud of you. I thank you for being on today. Thank you for sharing your heart
Yeah.
of where you are and where you're going, which for me, the sky's the limit. So, Alizah Washington, thank you for being on live and talking about your money live. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I chat with you.
Yes, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me. And I look
Please.
forward to more episodes.
Okay, great. There will be more episodes. Will you come back?
Of course.
Okay, great. Because we're going to you. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes.
So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate this conversation. I encourage you to go to focusfire.life, where you can see the resources. You can find out when our next workshop, 4 Keys to Master Your Money Without a Budget You Hate. We meet on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. The dates and times are on the site, and also sign up to receive our newsletter. We promise we won't spam you and send you like 50 emails every day about important things that are going on, as well as how you can use the tips we give you to improve your financial life. So until next time, remember, what you desire, you deserve.